Hello everyone. It's James again. And today, I want to talk about the long end game of the narcissist. As yesterday I spoke about how long it takes for the narcissist's mask to slip. And I believe these two videos go hand in hand. So I will link yesterday's video in the description box below. But before we talk about the subject today, again, I want to say thank you to my new and long-time subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed as of yet, please do so, to be a part of this channel's growth. Also don't forget to click the little bell to be notified each and every time I make a new video. And also don't forget to share and like, as this will help push this type of content to the front of YouTube so others that need to find this content will have an easier time. And if you want to support even further, you can do so by the way of Patreon. And to those that are supporting already by the way of Patreon, I humbly say thank you. It really does mean a lot to me, as every little bit does help. Now on with the subject for today. So in yesterday's video, we talked about how long it takes the narcissist to keep their mask on before it slips and they show us their evil side. And usually that's around a 3 to 6 month period. However, before that, the narcissist might on day one say certain things that reveals their true character to us. But what they are saying may sound like a joke. Or we don't want to be too judgmental as we've made mistakes in our past as well. With that said, that's usually not the big reveal. The big reveal, as explained in yesterday's video, is when they completely lose it for little to no reason. Blaming us, screaming and hollering and carrying on. All to hoover us back in later with some nice treatment after they've exploded on us. Well, though this is very typical of most narcissists. Even many covert narcissists. When these narcissists get experienced with how to lie and how to trick people into getting what they want. And what mistakes they've made. Mistakes they made that let big fish, so to speak, get away. The narcissist starts to refine their approach. Yes. They might. Or they might not. Say things at the start of the relationship where you can look back and say, I can't believe I missed that. But because this new victim has something they want, they have taught themselves the art of stuffing their narcissistic rage deep down inside. And or maybe they let it out on others without you knowing it. Such as their family. Or their co-workers. Or employees at work. But you will never see this side of them. At least yet. Or they might be so good they can hide it from almost everyone. And they are doing this so when the big reveal happens, almost everyone will be caught off guard. Now just to kind of jump off but yet still on this topic. This is why the relationship laws are so screwed up in Western society. Because even if you don't get married, and you have been living with someone for a certain amount of time, depending on where you live, you can be caught in a meat grinder, so to speak. And have many said, well, what if you sign this paper or that paper? Well, yes. That can help. But it's not a for sure thing. In most cases it's up to the judge. And if the judge wants to throw out your piece of paper, they can. And because of these laws that are completely screwed up, it makes the narcissist's long evil end game plan that much more effective for the narcissist. And dangerous for their victim or target. This is where the narcissist finds themselves in situations where they find someone that has money, property, a big pension, you name it. And they have children. They are married for 15 years. With the typical ups and downs relationships have. But nothing out of the ordinary. Then out of nowhere the big reveal happens. The big narcissistic fight happens on year 15. Followed by a series of fights. And before you know it, they are suing you for everything you have in divorce and family court. Now again, because we talk about men's and women's issues here. And I do know for a fact where women have had this happen to them. I know women personally where they have been taken to the cleaners. But by and large, This system has been set up on purpose for women to do this to men. Like it or not. And the women that this happens to are women that aren't doing this biding their time. End game garbage. They are playing it straight and honest. Which the system wasn't set up for them to do. And if the system was set up for men to do this to women, you would see more men destroying women in court. As opposed to what we see now, where it's a large amount of women destroying men in court. Because you see, though many of these people that are doing this evil thing are flat out evil narcissists, hiding their true evil nature, in hopes they can cash in for the big payday. However, there are many that aren't narcissists that get swayed by their friends. What they see on television, the movies, books, magazines, and just with the knowledge most of us have in the Western world, is that by and large, family and divorce courts favors the woman. And when temptation calls to a good woman, it's a easy slippery slope for her to fall and destroy and wreck her entire family. Because the system is on her side to do so. But with that being said, this is why both men and women should be standing up saying this isn't fair. And that yes, people can and will get into relationships with someone else with the sole intent to defraud them. To steal their assets, money, and children. And if you make the relationship laws in our society smaller, and less intrusive, and where it's more fair, where both the mother and the father of children from a relationship have to share equal responsibility. And if you marry a millionaire, you're not entitled to their money. Unless you sign an agreement that will be upheld in a court of law that says you get a certain amount if the relationship ends. Because yes, people should be able to come up with their own agreements. Have them checked by a legal professional. And then they are notarized. And that should be enough. And guess what would happen if this were done? You will start to see those that aren't narcissists less tempted to pull these evil stunts. And you will see those that are narcissists less inclined to work so hard for very little gain. There will be no reason for them to want to have children. Or get married if they know. More and more people can spot them with the information that is out there. And they can leave them regardless if their big reveal is 6 months in or 15 years in. Because you see, right now, the cat is out of the bag. How to scam someone in a relationship is common knowledge now. Everyone in some common way knows what divorce court is like and family court is like. Even if they've never been. As they hear about it all the time in our society. And they hear about who is the one that usually benefits. And because they think it's so easy. You see more and more narcissists gravitating to the long game. But yes, even though they might say a thing or two one can look back on as odd or telling. But if the narcissist thinks they can get something important out of you, they will bide their time. Much like a plant or a mole. They will pretend they are on the side of good. And before you know it, they will reveal they are really a double agent and on the side of evil. And this is why you see relationships in the West being more and more rare. Because the laws protect the evil, not the good. And people are scared they will end up losing it all if they end up in a relationship with the wrong person. And this is where I say, have boundaries. It's okay to meet and even find someone special. But if you have millions of dollars, they don't need to know that. It's okay to not put their name on legal documents along with your name. Simply put, it's okay to protect yourself. Even if society says, well, that's not romantic. Well, I have news for you. Those people telling you it's not romantic to protect yourself, they aren't going to be there for you when the other party tries to destroy your life and take everything you've got. I mention all of this because even in the comment section in my last video, there were many that commented that their narcissist indeed revealed themselves in about 3 to 6 months. But there were some that talked about how their narcissist revealed themselves in about 15 to 20 years. And that's why the laws need to be fixed. Because even if you don't intend to have children or get married, or whatever, There are people right now stuck in such situations, with literally no way out. And that's the sad part. But for now, don't be afraid to get to know people. But keep certain information to yourself. And if someone doesn't like the fact you have boundaries, or that you won't sign this paper or that paper, that should be a red flag for you to keep on moving on down the road of life. Because most people that get in such entanglements usually end up finding themselves regretting it for one reason or another. Tell me what you think. I would like to know. With that said, I hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.